Hi everybody, and welcome to NorCal Slot Car Scene. On today's video, we're going to talk about a company that some of you may not have heard of. It's not in the mainstream like Slotted or Carrera or NSR, but the company is called Area 71 Slot Cars. What they do is produce 3D printed cars, chassis, and interiors. So they have complete cars. They do not come with running gear, so you'll have to source that from another car or just purchase it separately. The cars that I have are compatible with slotted motor pods, standard guides, and so on. I wanted some cars that just were kind of unique. They've come out with a Ferrari 296, which should be available shortly, and some of the hypercars. When I opened the box from Area 71, I had 4 cars in it. There were 2 Ferrari GT3 cars of different versions, a Ferrari Testarossa street car, and the car that I really wanted, the BMW M4 GT3. Some of these cars are not available. The M4 GT3 is available in Carrera, but I wanted a car to compete with the NSRs and the Racer Sideways in our GT3 class. They make cars like the Ferrari Hypercar and some of those which won't be around for a while, and some of them may never be produced by the more mainstream, so to speak, companies. So they're providing a niche and providing products that you may never see, or you can get them a lot sooner. As I mentioned, the car that I really wanted was the BMW M4 GT3. This will be available from Racer Sideways fairly soon, but this car has been available through Area 71 for over a year. So that's the beauty of 3D printing and companies like Area 71 is they can get products out much quicker to the general public. So let's take a look at the BMW M4 as well as the other cars that I purchased. As I said before, I really wanted the BMW M4 GT3, and I got that along with the Ferrari 488 GT3 as well. The beauty of the 3D printing process is that allows them to come out with another car, the 488 GT3 Evo version. Not a lot of differences, but the front splitter is slightly different, and again, the 3D process allows them to do this very easily. As far as the individual cars, here's what you get. You get the body, the chassis, the interior, all the detail pieces, the rear wing, and the glass. When we take a closer look, you can tell from the texture that these are definitely 3D printed bodies, but they don't have the typical 3D printed lines that you see in a lot of 3D prints. The best way I can describe it is it's a slightly rough finish. When I rub a ballpoint pen over the 3D printed car next to a Carrera finished car, you can hear the difference. I'm not sure what material these are actually made out of, but they seem very flexible. But the only way we'll really find out how durable they are is when we get them on the racetrack. The inside of the body has the same finish as the exterior. The interior is 3D printed as well, and it's all printed in one piece with the exception of the driver's head. I do kind of wish they'd made the roll cage a separate piece, as it would make it a little bit easier to detail and paint the interior. The interior is mounted to the inside of the body with 4 mounting tabs, and they just clip in place. I know you all want to know how heavy this body is. The body with the interior in place is just under 18 grams. When we get the body finished and add the wing, the detail pieces, and the window glass, it will be right on par with an NSR or any other GT3 car. The chassis is a bit narrower than most of the other GT3 cars that I've built and fits perfectly inside the body. As far as the chassis stiffness, I would put it on par with an NSR hard chassis. When I put it on a setup block, it was about as flat as any chassis I've ever seen just straight out of the box. As with any chassis, you'll probably have to clean up some of the mounting holes for the set screws, where the body attaches to the motor pod, and where the body attaches to the chassis. The front axle ride height is the same as you'll find on most any other car, with set screws controlling the height of the axle. I did have to remount the chassis a bit, because the axle was quite tight in the chassis. When choosing the running gear, as far as the motor pod goes, any slotted compatible motor pod will work, like this Racer Sideways angle winder pod. The chassis is set up to use a 3-point pod or a 4-point pod, depending on your preference. In the front, I'm using a slot invasion guide which fits perfectly. That's a quick overview of Area 71 slot cars. They make some really interesting products that aren't available from other sources, as well as the quality being extremely high. In part 2 of this video, I will go over the actual build of the BMW M4 and get it on the track. After that, we'll have a video specifically on finishing the car and making it look like a real race car. Honestly, that's not my strong suit, so I'm going to rely on some people I know that have built cars from Area 71, and we'll get it looking as good as possible for my building skill. As far as availability, Area 71 has a great Facebook page which shows pretty much all the cars that they make. If you scroll down, go to the photos and scroll down, you see a brand new car that just hit their Facebook page a couple days ago. So they're constantly updating the products that are available. They also have a presence on eBay, so you can buy cars directly through their eBay store, and I've put there the email if you want to get in touch with them directly. So I would not hesitate if you want to get some cars that are different and kind of amaze your club members because, hey, where did that come from? So thanks for watching. This is Jim Rose with NorCal Slot Car Scene, and we'll see you for the next 2 parts.